Hey guys, Nick Leidorf, how you doing? Welcome to episode 92 of Off the Clock. Had to check there. It's been 92 days of doing a live video in a row, and I just want to give you an update on what I've seen on Constitutional Law Group .us's Facebook page, and on Rick Barton, who's if you don't forget about that guy, he's the quote constitutional lawyer that's now in jail here in Michigan in Ingham County, and he will be there for quite a while. And he tried to represent himself as a lawyer in court in front of Judge Rosemary Aquilina in the Ingham County Circuit Court, and that did not end well for him. So let's take a look at what the update was. I'm fascinated by this guy because I just don't understand how he is able to do what he's doing, because it's completely ridiculous, number one, and number two, probably the unauthorized practice of law. So let's take a look. As you can see here, it says this is from them. This is March 31st. Just spoke to Rick. He looks good and is eager to get out. I'm sure he is, and he could probably be out if he was not trying to represent himself as a lawyer when he's not licensed to practice in the United States or anywhere. He ends his 2-week quarantine to be able to out for more than 1 hour a day. He wants everyone to read the Sheriff Handbook. So we're going to take a look at that and see what's about that. That sounds interesting, right? A Sheriff Handbook. He spends most of his day reading the Bible and the Sheriff Handbook. We are working with an attorney to get him released, hopefully soon. God bless. So yeah, he wouldn't even need to work with what Rick calls a bar attorney or British accredited registry attorney to get out, if he would have just, followed the law. So interesting. Let's go to, so we saw that. Let's go to this Sheriff's Handbook, which is interesting. And here it is. So, County Sheriff's Handbook. You can find this at, let's see, it is called, one second. Oh, it is here. Power of the County Sheriff. We'll see as it's down here before we go. I'll show you the link. So this is some sort of handbook that you're supposed to give to your county sheriff, and it's supposed to educate them on how to become what they call a constitutional sheriff, which is interesting because you would assume that everyone would just, if you're a sheriff or not, would follow the Constitution, because that's what they take an oath to do, right? So then it has these quotes. Government's not a reason, it's not eloquent, it's force. Like fire, it's a dangerous servant. I swear upon the altar of God, eternal hostility to every form of tyranny over the mind of man. So it's interesting that we're talking about the Constitution, and then we want to throw in things like God, which I think if you read the Constitution, there's a establishment clause in the First Amendment. So I think it's still there. I'd have to check, but you're not supposed to establish a religion. But yet these people want you to believe that, I guess, you have to follow God. I mean, that's just not, God's not in the Constitution. So, but it's interesting these people want to talk about God. This is a table of contents. You can believe in God. I'm not saying it's wrong to believe in God, but just the two, if you're going to talk about the Constitution, then let's be correct and be very consistent about this, and let's not do mental gymnastics on how we have to jump around and quote certain things and not quote other certain things. So, purpose of this pocket handbook, it's 84 pages long. I don't think it's going to fit in your pocket. So, is to fully inform the American county sheriffs, deputies, and bailiffs as to their authority, duty, and law. Okay, this is the site where I found it. Sorry. So powerofthecountysheriff.org. Some good stuff there. It's wild. Check it out. To further expound on the topics in this handbook, to provide further education and to offer 2 free online courses. We'll see if it's free here in a minute, but hold on, because we'll check out that website. So, Constitution of the United States of America, Article 6, senators and representatives and members of the several state legislatures and all executive and judicial officers, both the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution. And that says sheriffs are judicial officers. Nope, not true. They are part of the executive branch. They are not part of the judicial branch. So if you're going to learn from these people, you might want to know that they've got it wrong. So I would recommend maybe thinking twice before you take some sort of course, unless you're going to use it out of purposely educational purposes or for entertainment purposes is what I mean, not educational. Sheriff's oath. I hereby do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all foreign enemies, foreign and domestic, so help me God, which is misquoting what the oath is. So the oath in this country is you do not have to swear to God. You can affirm. I do solemnly swear, and there should be, or affirm. They said that these were in quotes because anything up here they said in italics was our exact quotes. Well, in 2 paragraphs, we found out that that's not exactly true. So I do solemnly swear or affirm that I support and defend this Constitution of the United States of America. This probably should be capitalized unless it's something I've missed, unless there's some sort of meaning behind that. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's it. Doesn't have to be so help me God. Don't be deceived. The law is not complex. Thomas Jefferson said, common sense is the foundation of all authorities, of the laws themselves, and of their construction. And the more that I read into some of these foundational papers that a lot of these sovereign citizens want to rely on, I can see that common sense is lacking in every one of these things. Anyone can understand what the law is. You don't have to be a lawyer. But what I'm seeing is like several people that are not lawyers, like the guy that the person that wrote this has no understanding of what the law is. And I'm not saying understand in the sovereign citizen way of saying understand, but yeah. So let's law of the land consists of 1, the Constitution written by we the people under the authority of God. Okay, why does God in this at all? I'm not saying you can't believe in God, but I think you are kind of getting what I'm talking about here when they're trying to interject religion into this when our Constitution and the Bill of Rights are pretty clear that you can't establish a religion in the United States. So you can believe whoever it is you want. It doesn't have to be God. It can be whatever. So that's number 1, Constitution. Number 2, the common law, which is written by God in the hearts of man. Again, God doesn't, I'm not like belittling religion, but the two aren't synonymous in this country. And the constitutional statutes were written by legislatures. Any code or statute outside of the aforesaid is null and void, and that's why we need a constitutional law protector who knows the difference. Okay, so now I'm seeing why they're saying that this is up here, sheriff is a judicial officer, because they're saying that a sheriff who is purely an executive, part of the executive branch of our government, which is their mind is to execute what the laws are. So from my perspective, and I think a lot would agree, is that they don't have a discretion on whether or not they should be able to enforce a law. That's not their job. The laws are written by legislature, which we, by part of our government, we give them authority by part of the democratic process. We've given them authority to represent us, representative government. Then they write these laws. Then it's the job of the executive branch to enforce them, not to step into the Article 3 judicial branch of government. That's overstepping. They are not judicial officers. But these people who are writing this document want them to be, because the people that think that, I guess, that we're some lawless or godless country now, they want to have the sheriffs not be able to enforce these laws if they don't believe that they're based on whatever directives that they believe. But it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what the sheriff believes. It should matter whatever the law is. It's not a sheriff's job to determine what's constitutional and what's not. That's for a judicial branch to do. There are 3 branches of government. And, if you're going to try and learn something from somebody like this, if Rick Martin is learning from these people, then he's learning it just incorrectly, because that's not how it is. So you don't need to be a lawyer to figure that out, So then we talk about if a sheriff must depend upon a lawyer to determine the law. Okay, well, there we go. Then it's no different than saying he or she your badge, than giving them your badge and responsibility for your oath. It's not honoring your oath. Lawyers already run our government and have people ratcheted down in unconstitutional codes, statutes, and legal warrants. Well, if that's the case, well, then you can challenge them in the courts, because that's the 3 branches of government that we have. It's not for one branch of government to be able to usurp the power of the others. And that's exactly what this is talking about. And then there are, I guess, Bible quotes in a legal document. I don't know. I'm not going to walk into a court of law and cite the Bible. You may believe what you want to believe, but in a certain venue, you're not going to go into a court of law and cite the Bible, just like if you're not going to go into a church and cite some Supreme Court case. That doesn't work. The venues are completely off. So now we're quoting Luke chapter 7, verse 30. Lawyers said unto Jesus, Master, thus saying thou reproachest us also. Okay. Woe unto you, lawyers. These people just don't like lawyers, which that's fine. But it's funny that now Rick Martin wants one and is consulting with an actual lawyer. It's like the mental gymnastics. I'm completely I'm tired from having to do these gymnastics, and it's interesting. So then we long quote here from Bonnet versus Valier. That's an actual case. Nice. Let's see. I found something else I wanted to talk with you about. So let's go to page 9. The duty of the county sheriff. So the sheriff should support and defend the law of the land, aka Constitution, and laws of nature's God, aka common law. So nope. You swore an oath to the Constitution. That has nothing to do with laws of nature or God, or common law. Honestly, you swore an oath to defend. Let's go up to what the oath is. They misquoted it, but let's go back up here. The sheriff's oath, which again, I solemnly swear to support and defend this Constitution of the United States of America, not the common law and not the laws of nature or God's law. By which the former is vested via we the people, or vested by the latter, not legislative bodies. Right. But you elect these people, and when you elect them, they have the ability, through the way our system of government is set up, to enact certain laws. And then as a sheriff, who's part of the executive branch, they enforce. And then if there's something that is unconstitutional, then the judicial branch, which is our 3rd branch of government, can then say this is constitutional or unconstitutional. And let's see. All right. So yeah, that's I want to share that with you. Then let's go to this site in general, which is quoted in the powers of the county sheriff. So the one document, the people that wrote that document, they want to direct you to this website, which is the National Liberty Alliance. Some interesting stuff there. Let's go there for a second. 1 second while I pull this up. Let's see. sorry, 1 second. Abuse of court. That's where I want to go to. So abuse of power is what they're talking about. Stuck in an abusive court, the common law grand jury can help. So mortgage foreclosure cases, tax foreclosures, habeas corpus, family court CPS, APS, jurisdictional challenge. So if you're stuck in an abusive court and cannot get out, we may be able to help. The Unified United States Common Law Grand Jury can file an amicus curiae, which is Latin for advisor to the court on some matter of law who is not party to the case, to file on your behalf. So if you're going to try and file an amicus curiae brief in a family court CPS case, good luck with that, because that's not going to work. You don't have, normally it's just appellate courts where you have the ability to file that, like the U.S. Supreme Court, state Supreme Courts, courts of appeal. There are ways that you can file that. In a regular trial court case, you cannot do that. That's not going to work. Or are being, so these videos where they're basically capitalizing on fear, or are you being abused by the IRS? Read very carefully, which I've found most people that read these sites have trouble doing. So the NLA, National Liberty Alliance, the common law grand jury providing for all necessary costs to operate and educate the people is the key to save our republic. If a people expect to be ignorant and free, they expect whatever was and never will be. Therefore, we request a donation of $100 or more to cover the cost of joining your case. So you can have them, for the cost of $100, file some ridiculous thing that's going to be absolutely thrown out of court. And yeah, unless you're at an appellate level, then they could request to file amicus and see if that'll be granted or not. So anyone requesting assistance must support the NLA by donating $5 a month or more. So for at least $60 a year, you can ask for the people that helped write the ridiculous nonsense that we just parsed through and in 8 pages found about at least 6 things that were completely untrue. So let's see. What happened? What outcome should you expect when the NLA files paperwork on your behalf? Of course, they want to see immediate compliance with the law of the land. However, courts continue to ignore their demands for lawful remedy. Well, maybe that's because you don't have the ability to file it. That's probably one thing. NLA believes justice will be served when the deep state, that sounds legitimate, right? Anything that quotes the deep state and the Bible when we're talking about law, I think there's a couple red flags if we haven't seen any already. And there's several red flags, like a whole ship with a lot of red flags on them by this point. Paul writes, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And then you can sign up for this nonsensical thing where you can give them their money and nothing will probably happen. If you've won using this, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you more about it. But there we go. That's some of those things that are being pushed by Rick Martin, the guy that is now in jail. Let me unshare my screen. And I find it completely infuriating that he has not been charged with anything other than just the simple contempt of court. I see Monty. Yeah. Did you see the doctors? Did you see the doctors on his site? I did. And yeah, I'm reading about some of the, I'll do another video because I found some of the papers that he's papers that he's published on his website. Let me say that. And I've read through some of those, and there's some stuff in there that's just wild. And I've been wasting way too much time looking into it, but it's fascinating to me because there's something that he's tapping into with his audience that is then bringing those people to him. And it's not that it's anything true because we've seen it not work. And now he's in jail because of this stuff. But there are people flooding his Let me share what his page, let's see here. 1 second. Trying to navigate Restream 1 second. Hey, John. Thanks, buddy. Again, that's my friend John, not me posting as myself during the video. Let me share the screen of the Facebook Chrome tab. And so look at all of these people. So they post like every day. Make sure I'm sharing it. Yeah. So they are posting this every day. All these people, and people are like, you know, in so much in support of him. And it's just, I just don't get it. And then now they're kind of pissed at Marlena, who was the business owner in Grand Rapids, that not Grand Rapids, I can't remember if it's Grand Rapids or not, but it's in West Michigan, that followed his advice and then eventually went to jail because of his advice. And I think I don't think they're in the same camp anymore. Good for her, fantastic, because it didn't do anything other than land her, have her end up in jail. But then look at this. Why has Marlena all of a sudden disappeared from anything to do with Rick? She's now free and working with her bar lawyer, again, Bridges Accredited Registry, which is a conspiracy theory which has been debunked like a lot, multiple times, and could apparently care less about Rick and the fact he's still locked up for trying to help her. Why is she not have anything to do with Rick? Well, because his advice landed her in jail. I mean, I just don't understand this stuff. I just don't get it. And I have no skin in the game. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't want his case. I don't want her case. It just is upsetting to me as a person that went through the hoops to become a lawyer, for someone to just circumvent all that. And, I guess he was punished a little bit, but at the same time, and then now he wants this other post that I did a couple of weeks ago where he says he actually wants a bar lawyer, but he wants a constitutional lawyer like he was. So yeah, that's not. Oh yeah. Thanks, John. She was in Holland. Yep. Monty. Yeah. I want to get to your point in a second here, Monty. So let's go to, his site really quick again. And let me share my screen. So this is different, by the way. He's changed his website. It used to have Marlena and Rick up here are wrongfully imprisoned. Please donate money to them. Now that's gone. Now it's also saying that we will no longer be accepting calls through our toll-free number. Awesome. Because I'm sure there are people that may have thought that this was an actual law office, because when I first saw this back, which I think was like last summer, I assumed that they were lawyers, because this is constitutional law group. That seems like some sort of law offices. And as Monty points out, this constitutional doctors, they used to have constitutional lawyers up here, but they took that down and changed it with advisors. And I've talked about them, but real quick while we're here, then I'll get to the constitutional doctor in a part. So it's got Rick Martin, assistants of counsel, cowboy hat and everything. And then these all other people that they call themselves now assistants of counsel. But then they also have constitutional doctors. So, man, I mean, like, I got to be honest with you. Like, if my doctor, I would want to know if my doctor is part of this. So this person's actually, she's originally from Dearborn, private clinician until 2015. I don't know if some of these people are even know that they're up here. They have Hillsdale College listed as a resource under this resource tab here. I don't know if Hillsdale College has any affiliation with them or not, but this is another doctor. This lady who I've seen, who actually took down some sort of video that she had in support of Rick after he was put in jail. Interesting. And another, this is, you can believe what you want, but like, highly educated people, I think, should be able to figure out and see through this. Yeah, they stop. Yeah, they stopped paying for the free phone number. Yeah. Oh, Monty, I'd love to talk with you. Yeah, if you want to send me a message, I'd love to. If you're able to, I'd love to talk with you if you want to remain anonymous about your experiences with this, because I think people need to learn more about this. And it's just unfortunate that people are getting taken advantage of, in my opinion. And I don't see anybody doing anything about it. And that's frustrating, because I don't think you should just be able to walk into a courtroom, file an appearance, which is a legal document saying that you represent that Marlena woman, and then be able to try and cry your way out of it wearing a mask in court, as he did, which I think you should. But, it's interesting that he's trying to defend this lady for, not having to follow these mask mandates, and he's wearing a mask in court. But yeah, Monty, if you want to reach out to me, obviously you can see my name. You can find out my email, pretty easily. It's just nicklidorf@gmail.com. I'd love to talk with you your experience about hearing some of this. And again, if you want to remain anonymous, I'd love to talk to you about that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he preyed on her. And it's frustrating, because I think people should be held accountable for stuff like this. I mean, I think he knowingly knew what he was doing, and he did it intentionally. And I think that there's room for, I think that's the unauthorized practice of law. I just don't think there's any really way around that. So I'll stop sharing my screen. But yeah, I appreciate you guys checking in. I just wanted to do an update with you on that. And I like try and keep them as short as possible, trying to have a point of what I'm trying to do. But I appreciate you guys checking in, and I'm doing one of these every day for the year 2021. I set a goal to do that, and I think it's 93 days in, 92 days in. I can't remember, but I will be doing some sort of video at some point. Make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate that, your support, and I will see you again tomorrow. But thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. See ya.